"Sir, I don't need your pity, just one chance to prove myself." What happened next changed everything. Ali had always known that life would not hand him opportunities easily. From a young age, he had learned to observe, listen, and work silently, often feeling overlooked even when he tried his hardest. His family was modest, and though they loved him, they struggled to provide him with every comfort or luxury. Ali was not bitter about this. He had learned to be grateful for what he had. Still, there was a fire inside him, a quiet but unshakable determination that he could accomplish more if only someone believed in him. He was now in his mid-20s, working at a respected company that dealt with technology and innovation. He loved his job and had spent years learning every detail, every procedure, every little shortcut that made his work efficient. Yet despite all his efforts, he often found himself sidelined when important projects were assigned. He would hear colleagues being praised for ideas he had suggested first, or see others given leadership roles he knew he could handle. Ali did not complain openly. He preferred to let his work speak for itself, though deep down, each overlooked opportunity left a mark on him. One particular morning, Ali entered the office with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Today, a new high-profile project was being announced, one that could potentially launch someone's career into a new dimension. Ali had followed the developments closely and had spent weeks brainstorming ideas he believed would impress his superiors. As he walked past the glass doors of the conference room, he could hear the excited chatter of his colleagues. They were all discussing who might lead the project, who might come up with the first solution. Ali kept quiet, hoping that his dedication and skills would finally be noticed. When the meeting began, Mr. Khan, a senior mentor who had been with the company for decades, introduced the project. He spoke with authority, outlining the challenges and the potential impact it could have. Ali listened intently, his mind racing with possibilities and strategies. He had already sketched several solutions in his notebook, knowing that this could be his moment to prove himself. But as Mr. Khan continued, Ali's heart sank. He noticed that someone else, a colleague less experienced but more vocal, had been appointed to lead the project. Ali felt a familiar sting of disappointment. This was not the first time he had been passed over. He had kept his composure, nodding politely as Mr. Khan explained the plans, while inside he struggled with frustration and self-doubt. He wondered if people would ever see his true potential. He remembered all the times he had stayed late to perfect his work, all the moments he had helped others without seeking recognition, and all the small sacrifices he had made just to ensure the team succeeded. Yet, in the eyes of his superiors, he seemed invisible. Returning to his desk, Ali forced himself to focus on the work at hand. He greeted his colleagues politely, hiding the storm of emotions swirling inside him. One of his friends, Sarah, noticed his silence and asked quietly, "Ali, are you okay?" He gave her a small, polite smile but said nothing. Sarah understood him well. She had often seen him work tirelessly and had watched him get overlooked more than once. "You deserve more than this," she whispered. "You just need one chance and I know you'll shine." Ali appreciated her words but remained cautious. He knew that hoping was not enough, action was what mattered. The rest of the day passed in a blur. Ali buried himself in tasks, answering emails, analyzing data, and ensuring that everything on his desk was completed perfectly. Even as he worked, his mind wandered to the project he had been denied. He thought about what he would have done differently, how he would have approached the problem, and what innovative solutions he could have introduced. The more he imagined, the stronger his determination grew. He knew that simply waiting for someone to notice him would not change anything. He had to create his own opportunity. That evening, as the office emptied, Ali remained at his desk. He opened his notebook and began to write down every idea he had for the project, not for anyone else to see, but for himself. He wanted to be prepared, just in case an opportunity arose. Each idea was carefully considered, each solution analyzed from multiple angles. He was critical of his own work, pushing himself to think beyond conventional approaches, to imagine what others might overlook. For Ali, this was more than just professional ambition, it was a personal challenge. He wanted to prove, first to himself and then to others, that he had the ability to succeed. As the night deepened, Ali's thoughts drifted to the reasons he had been underestimated. He remembered moments from his past when people had doubted him, teachers, mentors, colleagues, even friends. He realized that much of this doubt stemmed not from his abilities, but from his quiet nature and his reluctance to demand attention. He had always believed in humility, in letting results speak louder than words. But perhaps he thought humility alone was not enough. Sometimes one had to take a stand to ask for a chance, to insist that one's skills be recognized. The next day brought no change in the office dynamic. His colleague continued to lead the project, basking in recognition and praise. Ali continued his work, performing every task meticulously, but his mind was restless. He decided that waiting passively was not an option anymore. He needed to confront the situation directly, to express his desire for a chance, and to do so respectfully and convincingly. The thought made him nervous. Asking for an opportunity meant exposing his vulnerability, risking rejection, and possibly appearing desperate. Yet deep inside, he knew it was the right step. During lunch, Ali shared his thoughts with Sarah. She listened intently, nodding. Ali, you've already done the work in your mind. You've thought about every possible solution. The only thing left is to show them what you can do. Don't be afraid to speak up. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Her encouragement strengthened his resolve. For the first time in a long while, Ali felt a sense of purpose, a clarity that made him confident in taking the next step. He realized that asking for a chance was not weakness, it was courage. Ali spent the afternoon preparing for what he would say. He carefully chose his words, thinking about how to convey his passion and determination without sounding arrogant or pleading. He wanted to make it clear that he did not seek pity or sympathy, but a fair opportunity to prove himself. Each scenario played out in his mind. Mr. Khan's potential reactions, the possible objections, the questions that might be asked. Ali practiced responding calmly, logically, and sincerely, knowing that preparation was key to making a strong impression. Finally, as the workday drew to a close, Ali felt a mix of anxiety and anticipation. He knew that tomorrow he would have to summon all his courage. The decision to ask for a chance was no longer just about a project at work. It was about his self-respect, his determination, and his refusal to be overlooked any longer. He thought about all the moments when he had quietly proven himself through hard work and perseverance, moments that no one else had noticed. Tomorrow, he would step out of the shadows and let his abilities be seen. That night, Ali went home but could not sleep easily. He reviewed his ideas, rehearsed his words, and reminded himself of why he deserved a chance. He thought about the long journey that had brought him here, the years of study, the late nights, the sacrifices, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. He reflected on the times he had doubted himself but had chosen to persist anyway. All these experiences had shaped him into someone ready for this moment, someone capable of turning a single opportunity into a meaningful achievement. Ali also thought about the people who had influenced him along the way, his family, who had supported him quietly, his friends, who had believed in him when others had not, and even his mentors, who had challenged him and, in doing so, had strengthened his resolve. He realized that proving himself was not just about recognition. It was about honoring their belief in him and the lessons he had learned. He wanted to show that his perseverance, integrity, and dedication could overcome any obstacle. By the time the morning arrived, Ali felt a sense of calm determination. He walked into the office with his head held high, ready to face whatever came next. He knew that asking for a chance would not guarantee success, but he also knew that refusing to try would guarantee failure. With a quiet confidence, he approached Mr. Khan, ready to express his wish with honesty and courage. For Ali, this was the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where he would no longer be overlooked, where he would take control of his own destiny, and where his abilities would finally have the opportunity to shine. The next morning, Ali arrived at the office with a sense of purpose unlike anything he had felt before. He carried himself with quiet confidence, though inside, his heart beat rapidly. Today was the day he would speak to Mr. Khan, the senior mentor who had always seemed impossible to impress. Ali had rehearsed his words countless times in his mind, carefully choosing the right tone, firm yet respectful, determined yet humble. He wanted to make it clear that he did not seek pity, but only a chance to demonstrate his abilities. Ali found Mr. Khan in his office, reviewing documents and discussing the progress of ongoing projects. The room smelled faintly of coffee, and sunlight streamed through the large window, highlighting the meticulous organization of papers and folders on his desk. Ali took a deep breath, trying to steady the flutter of nervousness in his chest. He knocked softly on the open door. "Come in," Mr. Khan said without looking up. His tone was neutral, the kind that made Ali feel the weight of evaluation. Ali stepped inside, clutching his notebook tightly, and approached the desk. "Sir, may I have a moment of your time?" he asked politely. "Mr. Khan finally looked up, his eyes scanning Ali's face. There was a hint of curiosity, but also the faint skepticism that Ali had come to expect. "Yes, Ali, what is it?" he replied. Ali took another deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment, and began. "Sir," he said, his voice calm but firm, "I don't need your pity, I just need one chance to prove myself." He paused, letting the words sink in. He wanted Mr. Khan to understand that he was not asking for special treatment or sympathy, only an opportunity to demonstrate his capability. "I have spent countless hours preparing, thinking, and learning. I know I can contribute something valuable if given the opportunity. Please allow me to show you what I can do." For a moment there was silence. Mr. Khan leaned back in his chair, steepled his fingers, and studied Ali carefully. He had seen many employees make bold claims before, some confident, some arrogant. But there was something different in Ali's tone, an honesty, a quiet strength, and an undeniable determination. He did not speak of what he wanted for himself alone, but focused on what he could contribute to the project, to the team, and to the company. "You are asking for a chance," Mr. Khan finally said, his voice measured. "And you expect me to give you a responsibility that others have been preparing for months." He leaned forward slightly, eyes narrowing, testing Ali's resolve. "Why should I risk the success of this project on you when I have others who have already proven themselves?" Ali did not flinch. He had anticipated this objection and had prepared for it. "Sir," he replied, "I understand your concern. I am not asking to take over the project entirely or to replace anyone. I am asking for a task, a component, a small responsibility, enough to show that I am capable. If I fail, I accept the consequences, but if I succeed, you will see that your trust was not misplaced." Mr. Khan continued to study him. He could sense Ali's sincerity. He had watched Ali work for months, had noticed the care with which he approached every task, the attention to detail, and the quiet diligence that often went unnoticed. Perhaps he thought Ali deserved more than a cursory glance, but giving someone an opportunity carried risks. One wrong move could affect the project and the team. Still, the look in Ali's eyes, the mixture of determination and respect, was hard to ignore. "Very well, Mr. Khan said slowly, "I will give you a task. It will be difficult, perhaps even impossible, but if you complete it successfully, you will have proven yourself." He handed Ali a folder containing the project outline and specific requirements. Ali took it with both hands, feeling a surge of relief and excitement. This was the opportunity he had been waiting for. "Thank you, sir," Ali said, bowing his head slightly. He left the office, holding the folder tightly, feeling a mix of exhilaration and nervous anticipation. He knew the challenge ahead would not be easy. It would require every ounce of his skill, every bit of knowledge he had accumulated, and all of his creativity. But for the first time in a long while, Ali felt that his determination had a direction, that his hard work could finally lead to recognition. Back at his desk, Ali opened the folder and began to study the task. The requirements were demanding and the deadlines were tight. There were technical challenges, potential risks, and expectations that could easily overwhelm anyone. But Ali did not feel intimidated. He felt energized. He began breaking down the task into smaller steps, analyzing each problem, brainstorming solutions, and identifying resources that could help him. He created a detailed plan, noting potential obstacles and ways to overcome them. Every detail was considered, every possibility explored. As the day progressed, Ali worked tirelessly. He consulted reference materials, reached out to colleagues for advice, and experimented with different approaches. Each attempt brought him closer to a viable solution, though not without setbacks. He encountered problems he had not anticipated, some technical, some logistical. At times, he felt frustration creeping in, but he refused to let it dominate him. Instead, he reminded himself of the words he had spoken to Mr. Khan. He did not seek pity, he sought only the chance to prove himself. That thought kept him going, even when obstacles seemed insurmountable. Ali's determination did not go unnoticed. Sarah, observing from a nearby desk, watched him with admiration. She could see the focus in his eyes, the careful attention to every detail, and the persistence that refused to give up despite difficulties. "He's really giving it his all," she whispered to a colleague. "If anyone deserves this chance, it's him." Ali, immersed in his work, did not hear her, but the quiet support of friends and allies strengthened him in ways he did not even realize. As evening approached, Ali reviewed his progress. He had solved many of the initial problems, and though there were still challenges ahead, he felt confident that he was on the right track. He made notes on areas that needed further attention, strategies for optimizing results, and ways to present his findings effectively. He wanted to be thorough, not just to complete the task, but to demonstrate competence, creativity, and responsibility. Every action he took was deliberate, every decision carefully considered. Over the next several days, Ali worked with unwavering focus. He balanced precision with efficiency, ensuring that his work met high standards while adhering to the tight deadlines. He sought feedback, adjusted his methods, and continuously refined his approach. There were moments of doubt, times when a solution failed or a plan did not work. But Ali treated each setback as a learning opportunity, analyzing mistakes, identifying alternatives, and moving forward without hesitation. Throughout this period, Ali also had to navigate skepticism from colleagues. Some doubted that he could handle the responsibility, questioning his ability to meet expectations. Others were indifferent, absorbed in their own work. Ali did not let their doubts affect him. Instead, he focused on what he could control: his effort, his attitude, and his problem-solving skills. His calm, determined approach gradually began to change the perception of those around him. Small gestures, quiet competence, and consistent results spoke louder than words ever could. Finally, after several intense days, Ali completed the task. He reviewed every detail meticulously, ensuring that nothing was overlooked, that every requirement was met or exceeded. He prepared a presentation, highlighting key findings, solutions, and potential improvements. He practiced explaining his work clearly and confidently, anticipating questions and challenges. Ali wanted to leave no doubt about his capability, to ensure that his efforts would be recognized for what they were: proof of dedication, skill, and determination. When the day arrived to present his work to Mr. Khan and the senior team, Ali entered the conference room with steady composure. The folder in his hands felt light compared to the weight of anticipation in the room. Colleagues were present, curious to see what Ali had produced. Some were skeptical, others quietly supportive. Mr. Khan watched him closely, his expression neutral, masking any anticipation he might feel. Ali began his presentation, explaining his approach, the challenges he faced, and the solutions he had developed. As he spoke, it became clear that Ali's work was thorough, innovative, and well thought out. He answered questions confidently, demonstrated his reasoning, and acknowledged areas for further improvement without hesitation. The room was silent for a moment, as the senior team absorbed the quality of his work. Mr. Khan leaned back, steepling his fingers, a faint smile appearing on his face. Ali had done what many thought impossible. He had turned a challenging task into an opportunity to prove his worth. By the end of the presentation, Ali could sense a shift in perception. Mr. Khan's eyes held approval, his nod a silent acknowledgement of Ali's effort and capability. Colleagues who had doubted him were impressed, some even openly praising the clarity and creativity of his solutions. Ali felt a surge of satisfaction, not just from recognition, but from the knowledge that he had stayed true to himself, faced his fears, and succeeded through determination and hard work. That evening, Ali left the office with a sense of accomplishment and renewed confidence. He had taken the risk, confronted the challenge, and emerged stronger and more capable. He knew that this was only the beginning of a new chapter, one where his dedication could finally open doors that had long been closed. The experience taught him a valuable lesson. Courage, preparation, and persistence could turn even the smallest chance into a life-changing opportunity. After the presentation, Ali felt a mix of relief and anticipation. He had done his best to impress Mr. Khan and the senior team, but he knew that real work was only beginning. The task he had completed was a small part of the larger project, and now it was time to take on the bigger challenges. Ali had proved that he was capable, but he also knew that the path ahead would be full of obstacles, and success would require persistence, creativity, and patience. Ali spent the following morning organizing his approach. The full scope of the project was enormous, with tight deadlines and multiple complex problems. Each component needed careful planning, collaboration with colleagues, and innovative solutions. Ali made a list of priorities, breaking the project into smaller sections, each with specific goals. He reviewed the timeline, identified potential risks, and thought through multiple scenarios for every challenge that might arise. Preparation, he knew, would be his greatest ally. The first hurdle came sooner than expected. One of the systems that the project relied on had unexpected errors. The tools Ali had been using to simulate solutions were not producing accurate results, and the discrepancy threatened to delay progress. He could have panicked, but he took a deep breath, reminding himself that challenges were part of the journey. He methodically reviewed the system, tracing the errors step by step, and eventually identified a flaw in the configuration that no one else had noticed. Correcting it required careful adjustments and patience, but Ali's persistence paid off. This small victory gave him confidence, yet the next days brought new challenges. Some team members were hesitant to collaborate fully, skeptical of Ali's ability to handle responsibility. Others were preoccupied with their own tasks, leaving Ali to navigate gaps in communication and coordination. Instead of becoming frustrated, he used these moments to practice leadership. He reached out to colleagues individually, explaining ideas clearly, listening to their concerns, and finding ways to integrate their input. Slowly, respect grew, and what had once been doubt turned into cautious cooperation. Ali also faced technical obstacles that tested his knowledge and creativity. Certain problems required solutions beyond standard methods, and he had to think critically, experiment, and sometimes fail before finding the right approach. Each setback was a lesson. When a simulation failed, he analyzed every variable, adjusting parameters and trying again. When a solution didn't work as planned, he reviewed alternative strategies and learned from every mistake. Through this process, Ali discovered not only how to solve problems but also how to adapt under pressure, a skill that would prove invaluable as the project progressed. The long hours and continuous problem-solving took a toll, but Ali managed to maintain focus. He often stayed late into the evening, reviewing results, drafting reports, and preparing for the next day. He made sure to rest and eat properly, understanding that endurance was crucial for sustained performance. His diligence did not go unnoticed. Some colleagues began to approach him for advice, impressed by his expertise and composure under pressure. Even those who had doubted him initially began to recognize his value to the team. One particularly challenging day tested Ali's patience and determination more than any before. A critical component of the project required collaboration with another department, and miscommunication had caused a serious delay. Frustration could have overwhelmed him, but he remained calm, seeking solutions rather than assigning blame. He arranged meetings, clarified expectations, and worked tirelessly to coordinate the teams. By the end of the day, the issue was resolved, and the project was back on track. This experience taught him an important lesson. Leadership was not just about technical skill, but also about patience, communication, and problem-solving under stress. Amidst these professional challenges, Ali also faced personal doubts. There were moments when he questioned whether he was truly ready for this responsibility. He remembered the long nights when nothing seemed to work, the technical problems that resisted every solution, and the skepticism of colleagues who had yet to believe in him. In these moments, Ali reminded himself of why he had asked for the chance in the first place. He remembered his words to Mr. Khan. He did not need pity, only an opportunity. And now that he had it, he could not allow doubt or fear to dictate his actions. He focused on the task at hand, taking one step at a time, and slowly built confidence with each small success. As the project advanced, Ali began to notice subtle changes in the way he was perceived. Colleagues who had once been indifferent or dismissive now consulted him for input. Team members began to trust his judgment, appreciating the careful thought and integrity he brought to every decision. Even Mr. Khan, who had initially been cautious, showed growing confidence in Ali's abilities. He observed Ali handling challenges with a calm, steady hand, and he began to see that the young man had the potential to exceed expectations. Ali's approach to the project was not only thorough, but also creative. When conventional methods failed, he explored alternatives, sometimes borrowing ideas from other fields, adapting techniques in new ways. His solutions were practical yet innovative, and they often improved efficiency while maintaining quality. His ability to think outside the box, while staying grounded in careful analysis, became a key factor in overcoming the toughest obstacles. One memorable instance involved a technical problem that had stumped the team for days. The simulation results were inconsistent, and previous attempts to resolve the issue had failed. Ali studied the data, reviewed every previous attempt, and then proposed a completely new approach. Some colleagues were skeptical, unsure if it would work, but Ali calmly explained the reasoning behind his method and demonstrated a small-scale test. The results were successful, and the full implementation solved the problem entirely. The team erupted in quiet applause, and Ali felt a deep sense of satisfaction, not from recognition alone, but from having turned a challenge into an achievement. Throughout the process, Ali also learned the value of patience and persistence. Not every solution was immediate, and progress often required careful trial and error. He discovered that mistakes were not failures but opportunities to learn and improve. Each setback strengthened his problem-solving skills, deepened his understanding of the project, and prepared him for even greater challenges ahead. He began to see obstacles not as threats but as tests, chances to prove himself and demonstrate resilience. As the weeks passed, Ali's contributions began to accumulate, forming a significant impact on the project. His work had become a cornerstone, enabling the team to meet deadlines and exceed expectations. Colleagues increasingly relied on his guidance, and even those who had once doubted him acknowledged his skill and dedication. Ali felt a quiet pride, not in personal glory, but in knowing that his perseverance, intelligence, and integrity were making a real difference. By the time the final stages of the project approached, Ali had grown tremendously. He had developed not only technical expertise, but also leadership skills, patience, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. He had learned to communicate effectively, manage expectations, and collaborate with diverse individuals. More importantly, he had learned to believe in himself, to trust his abilities, and to take responsibility for his actions. The journey had tested him in every way, but it had also transformed him, preparing him for the moment when the project would be presented to Mr. Khan and the senior team. The day of the final review arrived, and tension filled the room. The project was complete, but the true test was how it would be received. Ali prepared meticulously, reviewing every detail, anticipating questions, and ensuring that the presentation would clearly demonstrate both the results and the thought process behind them. His colleagues watched with curiosity and respect, recognizing the effort and dedication that had gone into the work. Mr. Khan observed silently, a thoughtful expression on his face, waiting to see the culmination of weeks of preparation and perseverance. Ali began the presentation with calm confidence. He outlined the project, explained the challenges, and detailed the solutions implemented. He highlighted innovative approaches, acknowledged obstacles overcome, and provided clear reasoning for every decision made. As he spoke, it became clear that his work was not only thorough, but also insightful, reflecting creativity, problem-solving skills, and careful planning. The room was attentive, the senior team absorbing the information, impressed by both the results and the methodical approach Ali had taken. Questions came, as expected, and Ali answered each one calmly, clearly, and confidently. When asked about setbacks, he explained the reasoning behind adjustments and adaptations, demonstrating both transparency and competence. When probed on technical details, he provided thorough explanations, showing a deep understanding of the project and its broader implications. Each response reinforced the perception that Ali was not just capable, but exceptional in his approach. By the end of the presentation, a quiet admiration filled the room. Mr. Khan's expression softened, a hint of pride showing through. Colleagues who had doubted Ali's abilities nodded in approval, and even those who had remained neutral could not hide their respect. Ali felt a wave of relief and satisfaction, knowing that his hard work, persistence, and courage had paid off. The day had finally arrived when Ali would see the results of all his effort, determination, and persistence. The project he had worked tirelessly on was now complete, and the senior team, including Mr. Khan, was scheduled to review the final outcomes. Ali felt a mix of excitement and nervous anticipation. This moment was more than just a professional milestone. It was the culmination of weeks of late nights, problem-solving, and personal growth. He knew that today everything would change. Ali arrived at the office early, carrying the final report and presentation materials. He carefully reviewed his notes one last time, checking every detail, every figure, and every explanation. He wanted to ensure that nothing was overlooked, that every part of the project reflected not just accuracy, but also creativity, innovation, and clear thinking. The stakes were high, and he felt the weight of the responsibility, but he also felt a deep sense of confidence. He had prepared, persevered, and grown. Now it was time to show the results. As colleagues began to gather in the conference room, Ali noticed subtle changes in their demeanor. Those who had once doubted him now looked at him with quiet respect, and a few even smiled, offering words of encouragement. Some colleagues who had been indifferent before now sought his advice or asked questions about his approach. It was a small but meaningful confirmation that his hard work and perseverance had begun to change perceptions. Ali acknowledged them with a nod and a calm smile, keeping his focus on the task at hand. When Mr. Khan entered the room, Ali felt the familiar weight of his mentor's gaze. Mr. Khan's expression was unreadable, as always, but there was a subtle shift in his eyes, a glimmer of curiosity and perhaps approval. Ali stepped forward confidently and began his presentation. He explained the objectives of the project, the challenges faced, and the steps taken to overcome them. Each explanation was clear, concise, and logical, reflecting not only his knowledge, but also the careful thought and preparation that had gone into every decision. As Ali spoke, he highlighted the innovative solutions he had implemented and the creative strategies that had solved complex problems. He shared examples of obstacles that had initially seemed impossible, but had been overcome through careful analysis, collaboration, and persistence. He explained the reasoning behind each decision, showing how every choice had contributed to the overall success of the project. The senior team listened intently, clearly impressed by both the results and the methodical approach Ali had taken. When questions came, Ali answered with clarity and confidence. He did not hesitate or falter, and when asked about challenges or mistakes, he openly discussed the setbacks he had faced and how he had overcome them. He demonstrated problem-solving skills, adaptability, and leadership, showing that he could handle pressure and take responsibility. Each answer reinforced the impression that Ali was not only capable but also thoughtful, intelligent, and prepared for greater responsibilities. Mr. Khan watched closely, his expression slowly softening. He had been cautious at first, hesitant to place trust in someone who had been overlooked in the past. But now, after seeing Ali's dedication, skill, and resilience, he could not deny the young man's abilities. Ali had proven, beyond doubt, that he was ready to take on challenges, lead initiatives, and contribute meaningfully to the team. The mentor's initial skepticism had transformed into admiration. By the end of the presentation, there was a moment of silence, followed by quiet nods and appreciative murmurs from the senior team. Colleagues who had once doubted Ali now looked at him with respect, and even those who had been neutral could not hide their approval. Mr. Khan finally spoke, his voice calm but filled with acknowledgement. Ali, I must say you have exceeded my expectations. Your work is thorough, your solutions are innovative, and your approach demonstrates maturity and leadership. I am impressed. Ali felt a wave of relief and satisfaction. It was not just about praise, it was about recognition for the effort, determination, and courage he had shown. He remembered the long nights, the setbacks, the moments of self-doubt, and the times he had felt invisible. All of those struggles had led to this moment, and he realized that his perseverance had transformed not only the project, but also himself. The impact of Ali's success extended beyond professional recognition. His colleagues began to approach him more openly, seeking advice, sharing ideas, and collaborating willingly. The atmosphere in the team shifted subtly but significantly. Where once there had been skepticism and doubt, now there was trust and respect. Ali's approach had inspired others, showing that dedication, honesty, and resilience could lead to meaningful results. His actions had quietly reshaped the dynamics of the team. Ali's growth was also personal. He had learned valuable lessons about patience, perseverance, and self-belief. He understood that obstacles were not barriers, but opportunities to learn and improve. He had discovered that challenges tested not only skill, but also character, revealing the strength and determination within. Each problem he faced, each setback he overcame, had contributed to his transformation. He realized that the journey had been as important as the destination. In the days that followed, Mr. Khan began to offer Ali greater responsibilities, assigning him to more critical components of projects and seeking his input on key decisions. Ali's reputation grew steadily, and his confidence strengthened. He approached each new task with the same diligence, preparation, and calm determination that had carried him through the earlier challenges. Colleagues continued to recognize his competence, and even those who had doubted him initially came to value his insight and leadership. Ali also noticed changes within himself. He felt more confident in expressing his ideas, more willing to take calculated risks, and more capable of handling stress and pressure. He approached challenges not with fear, but with curiosity and determination, seeking solutions rather than fearing failure. His growth was not limited to technical skill. He had developed emotional intelligence, leadership qualities, and the ability to inspire and guide others. One particular moment reinforced Ali's transformation. A new challenge arose in the office, a complex project with tight deadlines and high expectations. Several team members were anxious, unsure how to proceed. Ali stepped forward, calmly outlining a plan, assigning tasks, and guiding the team through the initial stages. His approach was organized, thoughtful, and motivating. Colleagues followed his lead willingly, reassured by his confidence and clarity. By the end of the project, the results exceeded expectations, and the team recognized Ali's leadership and guidance as a key factor in their success. Ali's journey had come full circle. From being overlooked and underestimated, he had proven himself through determination, preparation, and courage. He had faced challenges that tested his skills, patience, and resilience, and he had emerged stronger, more confident, and respected by those around him. The transformation was not only external, recognition, respect, and opportunity, but also internal. Ali had learned to believe in himself, to trust his abilities, and to approach life with calm confidence, no matter the obstacles. Reflecting on the journey, Ali realized that the key to his success had not been luck or favoritism, but persistence, courage, and preparation. He had asked for a chance, not pity, and he had seized it fully. Each small decision, each late night, and each problem he had solved had contributed to a larger picture, a demonstration of what could be achieved when one refuses to give up, even when the odds seem against them. His success also had a broader impact. Colleagues were inspired by his perseverance, showing greater dedication to their own work. Mr. Khan, too, reflected on his initial judgments and recognized the importance of giving opportunities to those willing to work hard and demonstrate their potential. Ali's journey became a quiet but powerful example within the office, a testament to the fact that determination, skill, and courage can change perceptions, open doors, and transform lives. Ali's story did not end with a single project. The lessons he had learned continued to guide him. He approached future challenges with confidence and clarity, knowing that setbacks were opportunities to learn, that patience and preparation were essential, and that self-belief was the foundation of success. Each new task was another chance to grow, and Ali embraced them fully, never forgetting the journey that had taught him the value of perseverance and courage. The transformation was also personal. Ali felt more fulfilled, not just because of recognition or professional success, but because he had proven to himself that he could face challenges head-on, overcome obstacles, and rise above doubt and skepticism. He had taken control of his destiny, turning opportunity into achievement through effort, determination, and integrity. This sense of accomplishment gave him confidence that would carry him through future challenges, both personal and professional. In the end, Ali's story became more than a tale of professional success. It became a story of growth, courage, and transformation. He had asked for a chance, and what happened next truly changed everything. He had turned obstacles into opportunities, doubt into recognition, and perseverance into achievement. Ali's journey was a powerful reminder that with determination, preparation, and belief in oneself, even the most challenging circumstances can be transformed into success. Ali continued to work with the same dedication and integrity that had brought him this far. His colleagues respected him, his mentors trusted him, and he had earned not only recognition but also a deep sense of self-confidence. He knew that the road ahead would bring new challenges, but he was ready. He had proven to himself and to others that persistence, courage, and skill could overcome doubt, fear, and obstacles. He had seized the opportunity, and in doing so, had changed the trajectory of his life. Forever had not only completed a challenging project, but had also grown immensely, proving to himself and others that he was capable of rising to any challenge. The experience taught Ali an invaluable lesson. True success is not immediate or effortless. It comes through preparation, patience, and the willingness to face challenges head-on. He had learned to navigate obstacles, work under pressure, and collaborate effectively, all while maintaining integrity and focus. Most importantly, he had discovered the power of perseverance, self-belief, and courage, the qualities that would guide him in every future endeavor.